Welcome to Clear Vision Wednesday. This is my show about vision improvement and what you can do to see better naturally. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the little bell because we're going to go live here every Wednesday at noon Pacific to bring you the great information about natural vision improvement, the Bates method, any kind of way you can improve your vision naturally and your eyesight. And today we have a topic that I have to be totally honest, I wasn't really on my radar as much. It's a topic that affects more men than women. And I guess most of my clients are women, so I haven't really noticed this so much. By the way, I'm Claudia Mühlenweg, the founder of the Natural Key Vision Institute. And today, let me bring her on. All the way from the Czech Republic is Hana Mas oh,
Maslowska.
Maslowska. Oh, I was so confident I could do this. So,
Mhm.
welcome, Hannah. So, we are both in a community of holistic vision teachers, right? And so, recently I posted, I would love somebody to talk about color vision, like who has worked with somebody who's colorblind, which I had not done. And then you gave me all this great information. I'm like, you have to come on and share your knowledge. So, you trained with Meir Schneider, you worked with Peter Grunwald and Esther Werf, and you've been practicing for like 15 years plus, right? In the
Yes,
Czech
yes.
Republic and online and offline in workshops. And so tell us a little bit about like what is kind of the first thing that we need to think about? Like what is basically like how can we see colors? How does it even work? Maybe a quick little anatomy lesson, and how do we know if we don't see them?
Okay, so I try to go through this topic quickly. We have in our retina two types of photoreceptors, cones and rods, and they enable to transfer light signals into neurochemicals, and via the nerve they bring these signals to the brain, to the visual cortex. And as often reminded, we see by the pictures, we see by brain. Yeah, the pictures is constructed in our brain. And we have three types of cones in total number 6 millions. And these three types are specialized for certain wavelengths, but we can adjust it as colors. So we have one type is specialized for blue color, the second type for green, and third for red. And these three types enable us to according how much of each type is activated. So the brain assigns a color. And this is how our cones work. And the other task of cones is not only colors, but acuity also. On the other hand, the rods, they do not see colors, but they are very sensitive to low light levels, and they enable us to see enormous number of shades. Yes, and also peripheral movement.
I
But
think most
today
people
we
Sorry, most people don't even think about that we have red, green, and blue cone
yeah.
cells, just like our monitors, right? Our digital devices usually have,
Yes,
like, I
yes.
used to work as a designer, and there's always RGB, which is those three colors. And when you do print
Mhm.
things, in print you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So it's interesting. Most people probably don't realize, and that the rod cells don't see color, right? So that's so
Mhm, mhm.
interesting. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't want to interrupt. I just
yes.
felt like we need to make a bigger point of this, that we
Mhm,
have three receptors, but we see all the different colors of the rainbow. How does that work?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so when all these three types are working, so it's normal situation and so-called trichromacy. And we can, thanks to this combination of excitement of rods, we can assign 100 to 150 hues, and together combined with different levels of brightness and saturation, it makes up to 1 million of different colors. Yeah, so that's fantastic. And in case there one type of cone is missing. So this condition is called colorblind or dichromacy, two cones. And there can be either the red or green missing. This is the most frequent situation, about 95%. And the blue cone is missing only in 5%. It's quite rare. And in these, and often people, because the word is confusing, color blind. So people often think that this is black and white, that the people see only black and white, but this is not the case. In the case of this condition, people can see 10 to 20 hues, plus edit all the combinations of brightness saturation. So it takes up to 10,000 of hues. And
okay, that's fascinating. So the blue one missing, I'm typing in YouTube in the live chat just to kind of help, sometimes understand these things. So that's more rare. So when the blue cone cell is missing, can you quickly describe that for those? I know it's more rare, but the red green one we're going to probably talk about a little bit more. But what happens to the blue
I
cone
have there
cell?
in my presentation, there is a picture, how it looks
Oh, okay.
like when, so we can have a look at it.
Oh, do you want me to share the slides?
Yes, please. 4 or 5 first slides slowly, and I will comment it. Yeah, so here you can see the first case is normal seeing, and the second case is when it's reduced, this dichromat, one cone missing. So we see here the number, and then on the next slide, we can see the first case is normal vision, second case is missing red cone and missing green cone. It makes very similar effect. But when the blue cone, that is the last square, when the blue cone is missing, so it makes totally different colors. Yeah. So
wow, that is so interesting.
and
So
you can go further, please. And then this is how it looks like, this red green, when there is confusion between red and green. So the people can still distinguish, but it doesn't, for us, for normal seeing, it's somehow not very distinct. Next slide. There is also situation that is the first is normal, and the last is this blue cone missing, and both red and green is similar.
so what is the one where everything looks green? It's like the one on the bottom left.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes, because they between red and green, they have it something like beige, yellow. Yeah. And I think there is still one more. Yes, that's also important, how they see in such situation. Yeah.
Wow. So if we wouldn't know, because we know that red is on top on the traffic light and pretty much everywhere in the world, I think, yellow in the middle and green on the bottom. But if you didn't know, you really had no idea what to do, right?
Yes. But on the other hand, they are sensitive to small differences. Yes. So when someone is accustomed to living with this condition, so you see there is difference. Yeah. So for him, it's maybe enough different.
Right. Do you want me to stop this screen share?
Yeah, I am not sure what's next, but I think there will this.
The next one is the Ishihara test.
Okay. So later. Okay. So so and there I was speaking about case when one cone is totally missing, but there are conditions that it's only partially defective. Yeah, to some extent. So then the number that one can see is something between this 10,000 up to 1 million, somewhere between, depending on the level of difficulty. Yeah, and yes, I would like to stress that these numbers, for us 1 million, what we can see is just potential. it doesn't automatically mean that we can see all these hues. Yeah, it's a potential. It depends on factors like talent, skill, awareness, curiosity, practice. So that means here is the space for natural vision improvement. Yeah, that skills can be practiced, improved. Yeah. So and the okay, and I still would like to mention one situation, so-called monochromacy. That is where only one cone functional is, or where none of the cones, there are no functional cones. So the people rely only on rods. It's so-called achromatopsia or rod monochromatopsia. And I will speak about one case later. So just to have now a survey of all three ideas what can go wrong. And this condition are hereditary, and as you mentioned, 20 times more in men than in women. And also geographically, the most cases are in Central Europe and Northern Europe. So that means also my region. Yeah. So this is, I do not hear you, Claudia.
Oh,
Okay,
somebody keeps muting me.
Okay, thank you.
Central and Northern Europe has more color blindness.
Yes,
Okay.
most 8 to 10%. Eastern Asia has half of this number, and some indigenous populations do not practically know this issue. Yeah,
Okay.
so in our country, everyone knows anyone who has this condition. Yeah. So maybe also that is why I had opportunity to meet these people.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Also, Perkinia, the Czech biologist who actually
Yeah.
discovered, right? You want to talk about him quickly? Because
Yeah. So he noticed, I think 150 years ago already, that when it's getting dark, so if you have a similarly bright red color and blue color, so when getting to the dim light, then the red color is the first one, which is getting darker and loses the brightness, and while the blue color stays vivid and bright. So that because yeah, we can now understand it because of wavelengths and such things. But it's nice that he was the first to describe this, and he also was able to explain it. So it's interesting. Okay.
so do you
So
want to talk about some cases that you helped? Like what was the scenario and how did you help them? So we can maybe look at some of the things that you
okay.
worked.
Maybe I could first mention this test, how to
Oh
test
yeah,
very shortly. Yeah.
sure.
So I think all of us know, if you can show Ishihara on my test. So here we see three. Just it's many possibilities, many numbers, and here I have chosen three. And the first one is very easy for everyone, I would say, or because of good contrast. Yeah. So it's that the other two are more complicated. It's not only because seeing colors, but also contrast sensitivity. And this is, I was surprised, this is something like third function of our cones. It's not, it has some connection with myopia, with acuity, but contrast sensitivity is something special. Our cones help us with this, and also there is a lot of brain involvement. So these three tests differ in this contrast, and we can move further. And there is example how oh no, these are okay. These are okay. These are for kids when they do not know numbers. So there are also versions with animals and other shapes. And on the next slide, we can see how. So here is number 5, who is seeing well or has a normal display. And next we see people with color blindness, the number, because they do not distinguish red green. So for this type of color blindness, they see no number. So
I was
that
just
is
thinking, Hannah, I was like, is there a number? Oh my God, what's wrong with me? So you're basically saying, okay, God,
yes,
I'm
yes,
glad, I'm
yes.
glad.
So yes. So the first one is how it's normal seeing, and the second is how it sees this test color blind with red or green cones missing. Okay, so these are, and what is the next slide? I think it's
The
next
next one
topic
is
already. Ah, yeah,
the
okay. So this is another because yeah, sometimes you have the impression that many men do not distinguish colors. Yeah, I can say the case of my husband. When he speaks about his trousers, may they be gray or beige or olive or green or khaki, he says brown, and finished. Yeah. And on the other hand, women like to play with words and naming the colors. Yeah, pink, salmon pink, and peach, and rose, and antique pink, and so on. So it looks like that many men do not distinguish colors, but it's maybe only the wordings. So there is so-called Mansell Hue Test, and that's without naming the colors. You just you have to move you move these squares in such order that it makes a fluent fluent changes from one point to the from the first to the
right. So
last one.
you have to sort them by starting with the left one, ending with
Yes.
the right. So I put the
Uh-huh.
link in the
Yes.
chat. I put the link in the chat on YouTube too. So
Uh-huh. Yes,
we have
yes, there
we have
is a link. But on the other hand, it's important to take into account that it's depending a lot on the quality of display, on the
right.
light in the room, and so on. So on the next slide is when they need some professional testing. So they have real buttons uh, and real colors. Yeah, so you do it physically, mechanically.
I see.
And
That is probably more
yeah,
accurate. Yeah.
and on the next slide is very cheap variant, invention of my granddaughter, that we play some matching game, or how is it called? Yeah, that are paint swatches and taken double twice. So you look for twice the same hue. Yeah. So up you see they are doubled. They are already found, and so that's I was surprised that even children up to 3 years, they are able to find really very similar hues to distinguish and to make pairs. So it's that can be a cheap substitute for the hue test. Yeah,
Right. And
you
I
can.
love it, so practical. I mean, you can just go
Yes,
get those
yes.
paint swatches. And have you noticed that
Uh-huh.
people, as they got older,
Try the next slide. There is another slide to this topic. So how it is produced? Yeah. So you go to hobby market and take twice this samples, and then you cut it and you have it.
yeah, a quick question. So did you notice as people get older, because you talked how great children can do it, do you notice that there is a loss of color perception, like not talking about macular degeneration, but overall, as people get older, is there a loss of kind of color contrast sensitivity or?
Yes, maybe, but my experience is that it's mostly psychological, loss of interest, loss of this
They're not
color
interested in
perception, this
colors.
joy
Yeah.
in colors, in life, in nature, and so on. So I see it during my holidays for eyes 1 week, and people they such improve. They are so happy that they returned to their childhood seeing of the world, colorful. So I think that is the main ingredients, and you can in some people this helps 50-60%. Yeah, so it's a big reserve here in just enjoying this.
It's so interesting to me as you say that. I used to work in advertising, and it was almost mandatory to wear black, right? Everybody wore black and gray, and there was like very little color. And so, also when you look at some houses, I did a big walk this morning in a more fancy area, and a lot of these houses were just like white and black, like everything is very colorless, right? And so and then I traveled to Mexico and there's like colors everywhere. And so I think it's what you're saying is I want everybody to hear this. So you said psychologically, like if you lose an interest in like looking at colors, like that you literally make improvements. You said 50 to 60% of improvement by just being interested, right? By being curious and wanting to look at colors. That's amazing.
Yes, yes.
So what other things do you like do with or give us some examples of your clients and
Okay, so I can say what what brought me good effects. So it's I think everything that I gaining my experience very soon I realized that everything what supports combs makes not only acuity but also colors, and I worked with several colorblind men, but none of them came because of colors.
of
Yeah,
course not. They want to see sharp, right? The sharp vision is
they
that's
came. They I yes, sharp vision. Yes,
yeah.
that is the main task always. And so working on acuity, we are parallel working on colors, but it's important to pay attention to it, to somehow appreciate it. Yeah, and that is what I noticed, that I somehow read the people to understand it. So I can describe one commonly known base exercise. So something like training the non-dominant eye, because we are looking too much with the dominant eye, and this one is suppressed and lazy and so on. And so people go with such a black card. Yeah, they have free periphery, so it's more comfortable and more useful, such exercise. After 10 minutes, I say them before they put it off. So I ask them to stand somewhere where is very nice view, structured and so on, and be very attentive what has changed. So they slowly put it off, and I say it may be just split second. Yeah, very quick, very fleeing away. So there are 3 or 4 basic effects of this exercise, but one of them is that they mention they are seeing uh, more better acuity and better colors, more vivid colors. And then I explain, oh yes, it's clear because your central vision, your cones rested for 10 minutes of the dominant eye that is overworked. So finally it had some rest. And then then it comes again to the scene, and it's refreshed. So the first impression is and I work also in the group because the people help themselves. Yeah, they inspire themselves. So it's enough if someone mentions, "Oh, I see better colors." So they are then attentive whether they also see better colors and so on. So it's easy. Yeah, and this is also important. This rest is perfect in case we engage the other eyes, because having rest just that I close the eyes, the brain is still unconsciously using it. But when you direct your brain, your attention to something else, to working to some task for the suppressed eyes, then the rest is deep, because because there is the brain has no time, no chance to somehow uh, be unhappy or rely still on this eye even when it's closed.
Yeah,
So that's
there can be no rumination in your head and all the things and the thoughts. You know, it's so interesting. We just had your country, your color friend country, Arena
yes,
Castle, who created this
yes,
beautiful tool, which we just talked about yesterday, and now I have it all over. But you know, where you have the different things on. She's also from the Czech Republic, so
yes, yes.
this is a beautiful thing you just described, because a lot of times people don't realize how much powerful things you can do. And I love that the other eye, the non-dominant eye, was looking. Would you also switch it around, or are you only ever covering the dominant eye, or do you also do it the other
In
way?
the beginning, we start with the dominant eye because that's somehow yeah, not too overwhelmed. I try to make it simple. So maybe for the first month or so, I do it in this way. When it's 1 week and we are practicing this daily, so then the third or fourth day I mention also, yeah, to switching and such things. Yeah, and
And
the
I
other
think
exercise. Pardon.
before we go to that, because I mean, we always, you like, just like you, most people want exercises for clear vision. And I know we call them exercises just because that's what people understand. But I think what you brought up was so important, because I had clients that were just doing things mechanically, right? And they would have covered their eye and then be like, oh, I don't know if anything is different. But the mindfulness, like paying attention to all these things,
Mhm,
that is,
mhm.
to me, right? You know this, you would probably would agree, so important. And I sometimes find that, like, the busy people, they're just like, okay, let me have this on and do all my other things and read my emails, and they don't really pay attention so much. So
Yes, yes,
yeah, okay, go
yes.
ahead. I
So the
just wanted to,
awareness, yeah.
yeah.
And similarly, these other these peripheral training. So I cover my central vision with this card, and after 6 minutes, something like that, I bring a bigger card, and then another 6 minutes, and again, when the time is over, I instruct the people a very in detailed way and calming way. It might be just split second. Be attentive. Yeah. And in case you miss it, never mind. Next time you again wait for this. It's your something like your present for this, your gift for this exercise activity. I say activity. Yeah. So
Can I quickly ask? So first of all, I have two questions. Why 6 minutes exactly for each shield? Can you explain that?
That's that because the first few moments it's a difficult exercise. You walk because you need to have ideally some walking. In
Hmm.
case you cannot walk, so at least doing something like that. So your periphery is activated and your central vision is having rest. And then I want, because first step is you activate the whole periphery, the usual periphery. And when I use this card, so you are already prepared. It's not so difficult, but you still have to go to further to the not commonly used periphery. So that is what makes the uh, range of view would enlarge your periphery, your range of view.
So you do a slow progression. You start with a smaller
slow
one,
progression.
but it's
Yes,
like putting the big one on. Okay,
yes,
that makes
yes.
so much sense.
If someone has more time, so he can go in 3 steps, yeah, bigger, and then go smaller and smaller, yeah. But we try first this, what has changed, and then we try the small one, and we see, oh, relatively, but it's another topic, peripheral vision. Okay, but I just wanted to say that primarily this exercise is to enlarging the field of view, this peripheral vision, 210 degrees, something like that. But the side effect having a rest for central vision. Yeah. So it's also important. It's good when the card is black, and I remind people breathe, blink, and the eyes are softly looking into the black color. And really people mention, oh, I see more vivid, I see more colors, I see better sharper vision.
So
it
how do you
works.
balance this fine line between the expectation of improvement, which goes for everything that we do, right? But especially with colors, like because obviously we want to have that kind of positive mindset, things will change and what we're doing. But then there's also sometimes, like you said, there's somebody, especially if you're in a group and somebody's like, oh my God, the colors are amazing. And then the next person, nothing is looking different for me. Like, how do you balance that emotionally? Like, you know what I mean? When you, because we want to have that is kind of positive expectation, but we also need to be okay, like you said, maybe not today, tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. I speak in this way a lot. And also, I remind people not to struggle too much, not too much effort. And I like the word intention. Yeah. Intention, expectation. So
Right.
intention is
Perfect.
enough. Just keep intention. And if you put the intention, your brain takes it and it works. It works on your own. Yeah. So I always remind no effort, just intention. Yeah. So
So you
that's
have what are the other things that you like you said you had that person who only had one cone cell or something.
yes,
Tell
yes,
us a little bit what else you did with it and how her vision improved, her color perception.
yes. That is a much more complicated situation. This achromatopsia, because it's uh, this color blindness, black and white. It's just, I would say, minor problem. Because when I started to work, that was a young lady, let's call her Petra, and her mother, she wrote me, she has nystagmus, strong myopia, and besides this, she has color blindness and light sensitivity. And immediately after the first session with with Petra, I realized that the greatest problem, the more debilitating, was the light sensitivity. And so I was also thinking, oh, it's strange, so many diagnoses in one person, it's sad. And I was at the time not yet experienced. And so I wrote all these diagnoses in one line because I had the idea there might be some source. And really, it took me immediately to the web pages of Achromatopsia. Yeah, so the description was perfect. I realized that really this light sensitivity, they call it even day blindness. Yeah, that when there is strong light, the people are really blind. Yeah. So she was better in rooms and in the evenings, and first we were somehow monitoring how to handle this, and then all relaxation, because all this situation made a lot of stress and strain in face and in neck. So and then I invited her to come to the 2 days course, And then there we were working. She was able in the room. She was able to take part in everything we were doing. Yeah, and she improved myopia and also this nystagmus. She understood how to relax when what makes worse. Yeah, because we were going to deep relaxations, and she noticed, oh, now it's better, and then oh, now it's worse. So she started to be confident that she can influence it by herself. Yeah, so that was also a good result in her case. And yeah, and after this course, because I was somehow deep involved in her case, so I studied further. And then I noticed that for this light sensitivity, there is red filters. Yeah. So I have found here in our country, there is one department that it gives people individually tested these filters. So
Can you
because they
spell
were
that? What
strange.
I didn't understand. What is that you said? Can you spell it out, or because I didn't quite
This
understand.
red filters or red filter or
Oh,
which
a
word?
filter? You mean a filter for what? Sorry, I'm.
That is with red
Oh, a
color,
red filter, a red filter.
red filter. Yeah,
And you put that
I the glass
on the glasses, or
that are either glasses or lens. Yeah, and they are really very special tools. And here is one department that is working with this,
I see.
and for low vision people. And Petra described me that she put something on, and then she went outside, and she didn't expect anything, and that she was so nicely surprised that it was fantastic, that it enabled her to stay in daylight and look around and see a lot of things, and to have better contrast, better comfort, that she was so happy. So they choose the best one for her. And after 1 week, she wrote me that she came home and that was like a small baby letting know the world, and yeah, examining everything, and that was fantastic. And her mother also wrote me a letter and was very sad that no one told them this diagnosis, that no one had named achromatopsia, and no one, even if she asked how she can help her, no one gave him advice that there are filters that can bring a totally other quality of life.
That
So
is
that was.
amazing. That is so beautiful to hear. So there's actually a question on YouTube that kind of relates to what you talked about. So Lorna is asking, and I think you already answered this, but let's explain again. Does vision light sensitivity affect color perception? Can this be improved by reducing your light sensitivity? So in other words, can color perception be improved
Mhm.
by reducing light sensitivity?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. I think there is necessary to distinguish differentiate whether it's the light sensitivity somehow within the normal range, just that can be helped with sunning and so on, or whether it's really when there are no cones, so it's yeah, no sense to do sunning. Yeah. So
Yeah, so
then
there's
they
no
there.
cone cells. Because the rod cells are the night vision cells, and they're 100,000 times more light sensitive. So for
Yes,
them,
yes.
the cone
They
cell
they
are the
bleach.
rod cells, right? They
Yeah.
can't tolerate bright light anyway.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So then it's necessary to find some specialists, some opticians specialized in this type of condition, and find help. Yeah. But it's really need to be to go to specialists, not to buy somewhere red glasses.
Right. But
Yeah.
for most people, like if they reduce light sensitivity, because the cone cells are the ones that use light to see colors, I would think that would also help to have better color perception. No, it's like hand in hand with visual acuity, reducing light
Sure.
sensitivity. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that enabled Petra to see better contrast and to distinguish so she had much more hues at the disposal. Yeah, so she could really differentiate much more. So that was
so it was like 10,000 shades of gray instead of just
yes.
50 or something.
Yeah.
So do you have any other exercises that people are
Yes,
like?
yeah, in my slides,
Okay.
the blossoms. So
Yep, let me
my
show.
favorite combining details. Yeah, I that is my grandson.
Oh,
When I showed him how to use magnifying glass for blossoms, yeah, for flowers. So he was so excited that the whole day he was going around and looking at everything. And so next pictures, please. And so I took some macro shots uh, to that is similar what you can see with you when you are looking through magnet. Next, please. You can go through it, and that is next. This one is good. This is my favorite. It's a very common Czech small flower, small blue. You see it on the next little bit, and yeah, and here, yes. So it looks just and come back, please. And I will. Yes. So here we see that we can see the white center, and that the edge of the petals is light white, and that there are even stripes, yeah, something like landing strips for the bees. And
so there's so many different colors in just this one flower petal, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's not just
exactly.
blue. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And thanks to the magnifying glass, I have seen this. And now when I look, come forward. So when I see it standing, this small flower. So now I notice there is because I have it already in my head. I see the white center. I see the edge of the petals white,
You
and
have the intention, you already have the, no, that you have the memory of what it looks like.
yes,
So now
yes,
you see
exactly.
much more detail and you see all the
Yes,
different
yes,
colors. I see
yes,
what you mean.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so through these colors, I come to details. Through details, I come to colors, to contrasts. So it's perfect exercise and not exercise, it's activity. It's
Yeah, yeah,
hobby.
yeah.
It might be hobby, and then you will look for some like to take some marvelous pictures. Yeah, so you will be interested in colors and details, and it will speed up the improving of your cone functionality
Yeah.
greatly. Yeah,
Okay.
so
This is a strawberry, right? I have that in my
yeah,
garden.
and you can see pollen
Yeah,
that
yeah, a pollen.
fall
Yeah,
down
yeah.
on the leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
really nice. Yeah, so I recommend get some magnifying glass and go outside and look at anything anything you like. For me, the blossoms are the best thing.
So
Yeah.
we usually talk about this activity, color of the day, pick a color and look for it. But this is kind of
Yes.
like color of the day 2.0. You're really looking for like all the nuances and the different
Mhm.
hues within each color. How many,
Yes.
even if the petal would be one color with the light and the shade and, you know,
Yes. Yes.
so yeah,
Yes.
that's
Uh-huh.
amazing. So where can people find you? I know you live in the Czech Republic. You have a book that's in the process of being translated into English. You are a co-author of this book, which we both contributed chapters to this. This is an amazing book. Everybody should get this. Um, what else can people, and I think we have a lot of links under in the show notes for like color test, all the different ways where you can assess your color and check your own ability. But
Mhm.
how can people work with you? Tell us, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, I have my webpage, I have my Facebook. So nowadays, no problem to make translations. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay, it's all in the show notes. I will still put it on YouTube in the description here. So your Facebook and yeah, now we have Google Translate. Everything is easily to translate. So do you do any workshops or any classes in English or only in Czech?
only for so far, because there was not much demand, and I do not advertise because I have much more clients than I am able to to take. So just for companies, when for ITs, there are some international companies in our country. So it's possible also to have in English some computer vision.
Because I mean, your English is so spectacularly good. When I lived in Germany, I would never really speak English. And so thank you for being here so much. And anybody wants to reach out, go to your website. Is there a way to contact them from your website? Yeah. Okay, great. And
Yes.
thank you for, like I always say, we have not enough vision teachers in the world. We all need to, you're doing a beautiful work. Really the idea on color, like it opened up my own perspective on color to a much bigger degree. And as a former designer, I was always about colors, but now I have even more appreciation. So any final thing you want to say here on YouTube before we go into our little private Q&A session? Any last words?
Yeah, you told it. Colors are a fantastic topic. Yeah, so enjoy the colorful world. Yeah, and be aware, be attentive, and try to achieve 1 million of hues. Or if you have some conditions, so maybe your 10,000, it's still a large number.
Yeah, and I think practicing it, you getting the color swatches, however you can improve your ability to see
Yes.
the different color shades. Thank you so much, Hana. It was a pleasure. Thank you so